I remember that night vividly. Everyone in the room was laughing. They clinked glasses, said meaningless things, nodded like they were clever. And I just sat there. Didn't say a word, didn't smile, I only observed. They thought they were alive, but in truth they were merely being lived for. You've been mistaken all along, thinking that to destroy a society, you have to drop bombs, start wars, or unleash a plague. But that's the game of those who lack imagination. Fools use blood to instill fear. I use ideas. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make the world destroy itself without lifting a single finger. Here's the first idea. You don't need to make people so. You just need to confuse them. When you plant a false seed in their mind, it doesn't explode right away. It lies there, quietly takes root, gradually erodes everything they once believed to be true. And when the moment comes for them to decide, they will choose wrong, not once, but forever. I once did this to an old friend. We sat on a rooftop one summer night. He asked me, "What do you think is the meaning of life?" I answered softly, "There isn't one." And you'll never have the courage to admit that. From that night on, he changed. He laughed more, but his eyes grew emptier. 6 months later, he quit his job. A year later, he left his wife. I didn't say anything else. I just showed him a video analyzing Nietzsche and Camus. Collapse begins with awareness. And that was the first step I took to destroy this world. I targeted those who held influence: a teacher, an education expert, a psychologist. I sent them fabricated arguments dressed as scientific truths. Half of them began repeating it in classrooms, on videos, in conferences. They thought they were enlightening. In reality, they were helping me plant seeds. People don't die from a lack of information. They die from believing the wrong kind. I call it deliberate logical error. And it's more dangerous than any weapon you can imagine. You believe you're a good person. I used to believe that too, until I realized morality is just a language game, a social experiment that the majority temporarily agrees on. So I broke it simply by making them stop agreeing. I created 2 social media accounts. One posted sweet, uplifting content. The other posted bitter, raw truths. Both gained hundreds of thousands of followers. I let them argue. I let them coexist until people couldn't tell what was real anymore. They tell you to smile. But if everyone smiles when they're hurting, what does a smile even mean? True destruction isn't an explosion. It's silent. There's silence inside your head when you no longer know what to believe in. I don't need you to love me. I just need you to doubt yourself. And that's when you belong to me, not your body, your mind. If you ever thought you could fight me with kindness, let me remind you, kindness is a definition created by the majority. And when the majority no longer believes in themselves, that definition collapses with them. I haven't killed anyone. I just whisper into their ears the things they already fear, that they're useless, that nothing matters, that effort is a scam, that love is just a tool for control. And then I step back. Let them do the rest. You may think I'm a monster. That's fine. But you'll start hearing my words echo in your mind at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep. When you stare at the ceiling and ask yourself, what the hell am I even living for? You can't get it out of your head because I didn't force it in. I let you swallow it yourself. If you want to destroy the world, don't touch their bodies. Touch what they think is real. Because once their reality shakes, everything else falls. You don't win her back by waiting. You win her back by never needing her. You once believed that men are unbreakable, that they never doubt themselves or lose their way. You were wrong. They don't even realize what they've lost. By the end of this video, you will see how I implant each thought, making them discard their own inner strength without a single gunshot, without a single blade. I didn't begin with bombs. I began with silence. Men willingly handed me the controls. I watched them in a noisy bar, glasses clinking, laughter brittle as dry bones. They raised their drinks to hide their fear, chattered to fill the void. I didn't smile. I sat in the dark, sinking deeper, letting them perform like soulless puppets before me. They think they're living, but really they're just playing out the script I wrote. You've long believed that to destroy a man you must sever limbs. You're wrong! I only need to sever their belief. I planted a simple phrase in their mind. You are never good enough. One repetition, one scar pressed deeper. They may have first heard it from a mother, a teacher, a bully, but I revived that wound, magnifying the fear of imperfection. They wake at 3 a.m., teeth clenched against themselves. I'm so worthless! That's the first crack! They try to be polite, ask permission, offer explanations just to survive, to be accepted. But the more they strive, the deeper they sink into others' expectations, man. The more they lose the path back to themselves. There are 3 types of men. Those who crave love, those who crave recognition, those who crave safety. They worship, praise, compete for status, avoid risk. All are mere copies of themselves. I shatter all 3. I introduce the concept of the rude belief, the childhood experience that underpins all self-doubt. A tree sprouting in barren soil, its roots scraping stones, fed only by fit. The tree may grow tall, yet its roots remain parched. They water only the surface with shopping, achievements, compliments never enriching the ground. They have never paused in silence to hear the fear whispering. Tomorrow, spend 5 minutes each morning in silence, listening to the fear inside. They experience it most vividly standing before a mirror in a public restroom. Under faded yellow light, their faces drain of color. They ask, "Do I look okay?" A foolish question, yet haunting because they obsess over form and forget substance. The false belief. You need external praise to stay motivated. The harsh truth. Only when you praise yourself will you no longer need others' approval. The crowd's applause is an illusion, vanishing faster than pain, and once they deny themselves, they become addicted to. I reprogram them by flipping their beliefs. I must be weak. Weakness is not failure, but a sign of honesty. Imagine an Olympic athlete crying on the podium, erasing every strong narrative. Today, they must cry alone. Record it and send it to me. I teach them to ask, who first told me that? They journaled for 3 days, digging for its origin. I have them read love poetry to strangers and watch their resistance. In the end, I'll make them self-destruct, not with violence, but with words, ideas, and the silence between chaotic voices. They crave love, I make them fear attachments. They crave recognition, I make them doubt themselves. They crave safety, I make them hunger for risk. They think they battle me, but really they battle the version of themselves I don't block their path forward. I simply switch off the streetlights inside them. On a sleepless night, they lie sprawled on the sidewalk, hands on their heads, heart pounding in the drizzling rain. They wonder, who am I when I'm no longer afraid? No one is watching when everything is silent. In that ultimate stillness, they face the code I implanted, doubt as their only companion. Now try the reversal. Each time the fear whispers, you're not enough, shout back, I am enough. Make a sign that reads, I deserve it, carry it down the street, and watch people's eyes. That pang of embarrassment when you confront the truth, that is the first step toward freedom. I am the part of you you cannot deny. You cannot kill me. You cannot force me to stop. The only thing you can ever do is listen to me.